Hi, this is Cecilia from Tarot by Cecilia, and this is your weekly tarot guidance for the week of July 24th through the 30th of 2017. And in case you didn't know it, we are officially in eclipse season. This one there's all kinds of hype surrounding it. All right, we have two eclipses coming up in August, but the season is officially here. You're going to see so much going on everywhere in your life, all around you, and to make things, just to complicate them a little bit more, so you don't know which end is up when August comes. All right, on the 24th, Mercury will enter shadow to prepare its retrograde. I want to say something here so that everybody out there is hearing this. You need to make sure that you have everything, double checked, triple checked, backed up, a hard copy somewhere, a backup copy somewhere, because even NASA, who started their eclipse campaign, I think they called it, back on the solstice, said there will be a lot of interference with GPS, with, technical equipment, all kinds of technology. Expect things to go haywire. There could be problems with power grids. So make sure that you have, if you've got to go somewhere, make sure you've got a written copy of the directions. I can't emphasize this enough. It's like right here, right now. You better get yourself ready, because when someone who is just scientific and of a non-spiritual nature is coming in and agreeing and saying, yeah, all kinds of things are going to go crazy, you best believe it. Now, on the 25th, Mercury will be entering Virgo. And, when I put these cards down, I was like, what an interesting time that we're in here. Okay. There are, I think every single one of you out there has a burdensome commitment of some sort. Doesn't matter if it's a relationship, a job, any other type of commitment that you have. You may be making a very big decision at this time. And it feels like there's a very big finally involved here. This is important as to what you're deciding to do, like how you wish to lead your life. Because what I see here is a lot of sacrificing that's been taking place for others. And it's time for change. This isn't an easy thing to do. It's not an easy decision. And wow, what are you going to do? It's like you're trying to be the good guy, the reliable one, and you feel not just committed, but bonded to this. And so you're asking yourself, is it time? I think I need to be done here and figure this out, whatever it pertains to. It has a lot to do with your happiness. And I want to say, you got to remember Neptune is still retrograde for quite some time. Pay close attention to your dreams. Okay? They're probably going to be very significant, very heightened with everything else that's going on. Google them. Don't allow yourself to, just with all those illusions that are there. Figure out what they mean, because it's going to be important to you. You require solidity in your life that was missing for quite some time. And that's one of the things that you worry about. It's one of the things that has kind of held you back. And I don't know where and when I've discussed this before, or with which signs, or whatever it was. It was saying that that's it. There's some things that you just can't say, that's it, I'm staying put. You can't stay put now. The time for motion has come. And this is a very karmic time, all right? The only thing I really feel, is fear. That, if you let your fears get in the way. But even that, I think that you're getting a better grip with each week. It's just that, sometimes when you stop and you think about it and you hear all this stuff, just the regular everyday stuff, is scary, but keeping up and knowing that eclipses are coming. And why does Mercury always want to retrograde when there's eclipses? Goodness, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we are in that mode. There is change here, and not everything. This is another thing, all right? As Mercury enters shadow, and you have all these other things going on in the universe as well, things are a little bit murky. They're not 100% clear. So when it comes to your commitments, do you know for sure? Yeah, like where are you at with all that? Because they always say you can't really know until it's all over how kind of shakes out, and what's going on. Now, I have a feeling that if your issues in recent years were very much financial, that you're very focused right now on the changes that need to be made to not just manifest the proper finances, but to build that nest egg that you need. I think the last time, now I'm in the U.S., but it used to be that they would say that there was a very small percentage of people who didn't have $1,000 to their name in case of an emergency. And now they have changed that to $500, and the percentage is still small. And we still see people having difficult times. So if you are one of those people who has been, through the ringer, you're very much focused on that right now, and knowing that you just don't ever want to go that way again. You may not know exactly what it takes to make it all happen, but that's part of these decisions that are here right now to, help guide you. And I think you kind of really got to get to maybe like the full moon in September before you can see, how your results of everything are starting to play out. And there's a very important message here also this week for not being a sheeple, not being like a follower, someone who follows blindly. So if somebody's preaching to you how you should lead your life, all right? You've been through enough. Experience has taught you, you know what you want. You know how to go get it. Yeah, you have to go explore, and you have to, be the one to do it. But you're perfectly okay in saying, no, that road is not for me. You may think that, but that's not for me. I can remember when I was younger, and, my dad always saying, you need to be a legal secretary. I don't want to be a legal secretary. Okay. So, it's that kind of a thing where there are others saying, maybe you should go do this. And maybe they're just trying to help you out, and offer their advice. But I don't think you want it. At this point, there's so much that awaits you in your life that you want to accomplish. And whatever, to just follow the norms of society. All right. Trust me, there's plenty of people out there who are not on, they are technically on this journey with us, but they're not. They don't have a clue. They're the sheeple. Go let them be what they want to be. Okay. You are standing up for yourself at this time, and you are making your own decisions. Truth be told, you want at this point total new doors, total freshness. And I'll be honest with you, I think if I were to ask you even 2 years ago, you would have been very hesitant to agree with me. But you've come so far. And you're just like, Cecilia, no, I don't want any of that anymore. I want to go find out what I can really have in my life. And that's what this is about, all right? You've just developed total apathy for the status quo. You are not, like I said, you don't want to be involved in what's acceptable to others. And, it's not like you're going to go out and rob a bank or something and do something so unorthodox. You just need to, this is kind of like this week is saying it's time to march to the beat of your own drummer. This can mean so many things. I'm fascinated by this. Okay, so, you're taking that there's always review involved in this. For some reason, I think with each week, with each step of the way, as you're continuing, you're, I think I said the only thing, and I think I said this last week too, that fear that's there, kind of like, I don't know what's out there, but I'm going for it. I'm going for it. Okay. I hope it's all good, but you know what? It's just go with the flow. Just be chill, and the abundance is coming. I have to tell you, where we at? And I don't want anybody to jump up in the air and start cursing at me here. At March, okay? That's where you're just like, you've got that balance and that fairness. So there's so much more coming, okay? It's like it progresses. And that's what you're doing. You're moving right along. I don't think you have any clue what March is like, to be honest with you. Because the coming months show you hammering out the details and nailing the door on that sucker shut, all right, from the past. Amazing. Those hard times, You're creating success, and it just continues and it grows. So it's not that you're waiting until March to feel it, but boy, I think when March comes, you're like even keeled. You know what I'm saying? You're basically about at the point where I think you may not question much of anything anymore. Okay, more likely by next May you're done asking as many questions. So this is really very interesting to me. But it's a series of events. It just keeps on going. Like I said, I can't wait. You're in eclipse season now. And I mentioned this before about, marking your calendar and not being so, what's the word I'm looking for? Almost like blindfolded, but not. More like tunnel vision is what I'm trying to say. That you're only looking at what you want. Because if you want to get through this and you really want to make things happen for you, yeah, you have to pay attention to everyone else and everything else. And that's not meant as a distraction where you're so busy looking at everyone else that you forget about yourself. But take the time. If someone wants to talk to you and tell you about their life, listen, because there's an element of something in there, all right, that things happen. And I try to explain this to people. A lot of times people ask, when I do personal readings and I ask a series of questions. I mentioned this a few weeks back. They're very basic, but I ask you things about, like who's around you, who lives near you, who's related to you, blah, blah, blah. Simple stuff, just the basics about it. But we don't often consider, as we go through our day-to-day lives, how someone else's life can impact us. And that's always important to kind of have that radar up, because what we don't see coming is what can really hurt us the most in the long run. And I see you here wanting none of that, okay? You want what you want and you want to make it happen, and that's what you're going to do. So by being more aware of what other people are going through, you're able to, navigate, I do believe, much, much better than you have in the past. And you could see an example of that this week where, something where you're committed to a certain responsibility and it kind of, trips you up and you feel like the rug was pulled out from under you. It's eclipse season. Anything can happen. So you want to be not just focused solely on yourself. When it comes to, the things you're working on, yes. When it comes to being observant, you want to observe everything so that you're not blindsided by anything. And I really think that that's what gets you very far. And it helps eliminate, the fears that you have for what's coming. Because that's the problem, is that everybody always they fear what's coming for them, but you're not the only person here. So you have to pay attention to what's going on with everyone. So you're focused towards security. is going to work. You know, you've achieved a lot of wisdom through this as well. A lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge. And I think you've also severed a lot of things along the way. But you're doing it to the point where you're living your truth. And you've organized your life in such a way that I think you can stay on top of things from now on. And that's important. All right, that's really important. You're you're waiting for that, like, like that holding back the dam kind of thing. Like, I don't know about this. I don't think there is holding it back. So if you're resisting the change, it isn't going to work. You need to get out and you need to explore and be in pursuit of your hopes and dreams. You're definitely recovering from everything that's happened. It takes time. Are you going to recover? You're not going to go back and be who you were before. If you've gotten that message, I think that you're going to be fine. And the universe truly wants to show you great favor. Now, what's interesting here is that this comes from, and we've talked about this shift in focus that you've been going through and how you're working on it, where you don't dwell on negative things or the bad things that happen or the losses or the disappointments. You've picked yourself up and you've decided you're going to be a positive individual and you're going to make things happen. And what happens is that, like if you look at life, I don't know, everybody always likes to use cups as an example. Like your cup being filled and overflowing. That's the positive abundance that's coming. You'll be amazed at the change that's there. And, as far as struggles, you're breaking down those walls. You really can achieve your wishes. But I'll tell you, there's a large contingency out there who are wishing for the wrong thing. And the only thing that I can say to that is that, be careful what you wish for, because you might just get it. And then you're going to come along and message me and say, Cecilia, what am I going to do about this mess? Oh, it's all about choices. It's all about choices. And you need to be in control. August is almost here. It's next week. The winds of change are blowing through. It's starting now. You're in eclipse season. This is a tremendous cycle that's going to give birth to amazing things. And I think if you're paying attention, you're going to have some bittersweet moments, but by Christmas, okay? Thanksgiving, Christmas. Thanksgiving is the third week in November here in the U.S., okay? I think you're quite content. Like you're where you need to be. You've moved on. And you know that there's so much more out there for you. So this is a process, the way it shows it, this is a process, but the change is coming. And these are very exciting times. And I think, like I said, as long as you cannot allow yourself to succumb to the fears, you are going to come through this on the other side with flying colors. So I want to thank you very much for being here. Don't forget to check me out on YouTube and Patreon. There are a lot of special videos available on both where you'll have extra guidance to help you through this, because it really is a complicated period of time. So thank you and take care.